The World is Too Much With Us by William Wordsworth. Yesterday I told you William Wordsworth is a poet of the Romantic era. Romantic era means where the poems are written which are emotionally connected, which appeal to the heart of the readers, not to the mind of the readers, unlike the neoclassical age. Okay? And Wordsworth is a pioneer of the Romantic age. He is one of the leading poets of the Romantic age. And I also told you about the different type of characteristics which are seen in Wordsworth poems. One, he is a worshipper of nature. He is not only a lover of nature, he worships nature. Nature is God to him. Second, we talked about nature as his friend, his philosopher, who gives him material to think, matter to think, and guide. He tries to find all his problems, solutions of his problems and issues in the nature. And third, the fundamental, the underline on which the poems of Wordsworth are based is emotions recollected in tranquility. So yesterday we did The Solitary Reaper, which was based on emotions recollected in tranquility. Why? Because he listened to the song, the sound, the voice of the girl and compared it to the two beautiful sounds of nightingale and cuckoo, but he found that the voice or the song of the girl is much more beautiful, thrilling, endearing, mesmerizing, hypnotizing than the sound of these two birds. He does not understand the language of the song in which the girl is singing because it is a dialect, yet it is so capturing that he listened motionless and still, absolutely without disturbing the girl. He listened to the song of the girl, and then he says, and as I mounted up the hill, the music in my heart I bore, long after it was heard no more. So obviously, he listened to the music at that time, he absorbed the music of the girl at that time, and then whenever he was in a pensive mood, when he was vacant, when he did not have any work to do, all those memories, which actually the experiences which he had experienced when he was listening to the music of the girl, that came back into his mind, and thus he wrote the poetry, The Solitary Reaper. Today we are going to do The World is Too Much With Us. It is a sonnet. You know what is a sonnet? Sonnet is a poem of
14
lines. Okay, that is for sure. Now the sonnet is divided into two parts. Sonnets are of two types: patriarchal sonnet and the Shakespearean sonnet. This is based on and there is another one which is also known as the Miltonic sonnet, which Milton wrote. Now this sonnet is based on the patriarchal model, where we have 8 lines, the octave, and 6 lines, the sestet. Now in this sonnet, the poet talks about the world and how much the world has gripped us into its clutches. We have become so selfish, we have become so materialistic, we have become so mechanical that we do not have time to stand and listen, absorb and appreciate the beauty of nature. He says we don't have time. We are only earning money or we are spending money. This is our only work in this world. We are not appreciating nature. We do not have time to look at the beauty of nature. We do not have time to stand and absorb the beauty of nature. And therefore he says we have exchanged our heart. We have actually our hearts, we have given it to the materialistic world. And getting and spending, getting means earning money and spending that money, that is our only concern in this world. And therefore the poet is so pained actually. He feels so bad. He feels so sorrowful. He is grieved to see that we have become so mechanical, and he says that I would rather give up my religion, that is Christianity. And he wants to adopt paganism, which I told you yesterday also, that paganism is a religion where the people worship Pan God, who is the god of nature. And he wants to spend his time He wants to, actually spend his time looking at the beauty of nature, looking at the grasslands, looking at the sea, imagining that from the sea Proteus is coming out. Proteus is the sea god. He's coming out. And he wants to look at the sea and imagine that Triton, who's known as also the old man of the sea, who blows his conch from the shank, who blows his conch shell, and all the animals, they come to him. Like in Hindu mythology, we have Lord Krishna, who plays a flute, and all the cattle and all the animals, they come to him. Similarly, Triton is an old god of the sea. He's a sea deity. Deity ka matlab devta. So he is a sea deity, and he blows his shell, and all the sea animals come to him. Okay, so you got your text today. Open the text. The world is too much with us. So obviously, the world is too much with us means the world has too much influence on us. We are totally occupied in this worldly ways. We are totally occupied in this mechanical world. ये वर्ल्ड ने हमारे को क्या करा है? अपने ग्रिप में ले लिया है. The world has complete influence of us, and from the word world, he means the materialistic world. All these things which are materialistic. He says the world is too much with us means we are totally in the clutches of this materialistic world. Late and soon, getting and spending. Late and soon. So whether it is at early age or whether it is at old age, right from our childhood to our death, we are totally absorbed in the materialistic and worldly way of life. Getting and spending. We are totally absorbed, we are totally engrossed in getting means earning money, and spending means spending the money. This is our total concern. We are either earning money, we are totally, spending our time in earning money or spending that money. We lay waste our parts. We are wasting our part. Power of what? Emotions, feelings which rise in our heart. The power of appreciating beauty. The power of romanticizing with nature. The power of, looking and absorbing this beautiful nature which is incredible, unbelievable, avishwasniya hai. Because this is so beautiful. Sometimes we really wonder how nature is actually working. We do not, it is so unfathomable. Unfathomable means it is so deep that we do not understand how the nature works. How is it possible that the rain is coming? How is it possible that the sea is flowing and then it comes and stops at the shore? How is it possible that the mountains go, they rise from a certain place and then they end at a certain place? How the grass is growing, how it is springtime and the flowers are blooming, how it is summertime and the sun is shining. Nobody has an answer to this. So the nature is deep. The nature is unfathomable. You have lot of questions to ask about nature, but we do not have an answer. And the answer is only one, that there is some supreme power who is running nature. But what we have done? We have not used our power of appreciating, of enjoying nature. We have used this power what? We have wasted away our power in earning money and spending that money in materialistic things. We are more engrossed in buying cars, houses, clothes, bags, shoes, and we get happiness from that. We do not get happiness from nature. We get happiness now. That is fake happiness, superficial happiness. That is temporary happiness. You buy something, you are happy for a few, maybe minutes or a few hours or maybe few days. And after that, you are done with that thing. You do not like that thing. Man bhar jata hai. Right? Nature is something which is unfolding. You see a new thing in nature every day. It is changing every day. So that is the beauty of nature. But we have totally, absorbed and engrossed ourselves, and the power we are using is only the materialistic world. Little we see in nature that is ours. We see in nature that is ours. Means little we see in nature, for us, nature is only a giver. We are trying to exploit nature. हम nature का सिर्फ शोषण करते हैं. We see only what is nature is giving to us. Nature is giving us water. Nature is giving us plants. Nature is giving us shade. Nature is giving us fruits, vegetables, things to eat, things to enjoy. We do not have time to appreciate nature. So we are, like that selfishness of man, the materialistic attitude of man, the self-centeredness of man, that I want everything, that attitude is also when he looks at nature. It is not an appreciable attitude. It is not an attitude where he says that, okay, this is such beauty of nature and we appreciate nature. No. Little we see in nature that is ours. We have no connection with nature. We do not connect with nature. We do not feel that nature is ours and we are one with nature. They are only trying to see what nature can give us. We have given our hearts away. We have exchanged our hearts. Heart, what does heart denote? Heart means emotions. Emotions means feelings. And feelings come when you are happy or you are sorrowful. That is emotions. There are so many emotions that we experience in life. And heart is directly connected to those emotions. So he says we have given our hearts away. We have exchanged our hearts. We have given our hearts away to materialistic things. A sordid boon. Sordid means petty, base, unimportant, bad. Boon means gift. So हमने क्या किया है? We have given our hearts, and in exchange what we have taken? We have taken a very bad, petty, small, unimportant thing, and that is materialism. We have exchanged our hearts and we have taken materialism. The sea that bears her bosom to the moon. The winds that will be howling at all hours are upgathered now like sleeping flowers. See, this is the beauty of nature he talks about. The sea that bears her bosom to the moon is talking about the night time. He's saying that in the night, have you ever tried to see how the sea looks? The sea, like the surface of the sea is absolutely calm. Okay? And the surface of the sea is reflecting the light of the moon. So what happens? The water becomes all whitish. It becomes blanched, white in color. So it looks as if the sea has absorbed the moon. No, but the sea has absorbed the moon. And the moon is spread all over the sea. So the sea that bears ka matlab opens her bosom. Bosom means her breast, her chest to the moon. So her here means personification. The sea is personified. The sea is personified as a female. And he says that just as a female, she opens herself to a beloved. वो अपने beloved अपने lover के सामने जैसे open हो जाती है, and she embraces her beloved. Similarly, the sea also has opened her arms and has embraced, has taken in her arms the moon, because the moon is spread all over the sea. So this is one beautiful aspect of the nature. Second, he says, the winds that are howling at all hours. The wind means the forceful breeze that is blowing. Howling means making a lot of noise. Okay? At all hours means throughout the day. Throughout the day, it was a windy day and the winds were blowing and they were making a lot of sound. They are upgathered now like sleeping flowers. So we have the word like, it means what? Simile. Have you seen a flower? In the daytime, the flower blooms or blossoms. It opens up itself. And when it is evening, slowly the flower will close its petals. Upgathered means close its petals and go to sleep. Similarly, in the daytime, the wind is blowing very forcefully, but now the wind has come to a standstill. The wind is not blowing anymore. So he says, do you have the power? He puts a question. He says, do you have the power to appreciate this? Do you even realize that the wind which was blowing with such force in the daytime is now absolutely quiet in the night? Just like a sleeping flower. So the sleeping flower, it sleeps, it closes its petals. The wind also comes to a standstill and goes to sleep. But we do not have time to appreciate this. We do not even realize. We do not even, it is not in our senses also. We do not have the power to realize that this is the beauty of nature. For this, means for the above two examples which I have given. Consider two examples. The sea which bears a bosom to the moon and the winds that are howling at all hours are upgathered like sleeping power. For this, for everything, we are out of tune. Everything means every beautiful aspect of nature. We are out of tune means we do not have the power to appreciate. We do not have the sense to absorb the beauty of nature. We have lost our power to appreciate the beauty of nature. We are out of tune. We don't know how to do that. Why? Why this has happened? Because we have given our hearts and we have taken materialistic attitude. It moves us not, great God. It means the extreme beauty of nature. It does not move us, means it does not influence us. It does not, at all, it touches our heart. It means the great beauty of nature. It does not influence us at all. And why it does not influence? Because we have lost the power of appreciating the beauty of nature. Okay? It moves us not, great God. Now this is an exclamation. Dekho, exclamation mark hai. So exclamation means he is feeling very sorrowful. He is feeling very sad. He is extremely grieved at this state of man, where man has lost the power to appreciate the beauty of nature, and the man is only interested in materialistic things. I'd rather be. Now, from here he starts. He says, great God. He's praying to God. He's, expressing his extreme grief and he's praying to God, and he says, I'd rather be a pagan suckled in a creed outworn. I'd rather be means I, choose to be. I want to be. What? A pagan. Pagan is worshippers of the God of nature. So the poet wants to give up Christianity. The poet wants to give up his religion. And what he wants to adopt? Paganism. And suckled. So pagan is a worshipper of nature, and suckled in a creed outworn. Suckled means they have, they have nurtured themselves. They have grown. Creed means tradition. Outworn means outdated. So I want to become a pagan who are outdated now. They no longer exist. They are non-existent. Because I told you, before Christ, we used to have different kind of gods. For everything we had gods. But in AD, that is Anno Domini, people started worshipping Jesus Christ. So obviously the Roman gods or the Greek gods, that is Apollo, Pan God, Zeus, who is the god of gods, Jupiter, they all, people started forgetting them and they adopted Christianity. So obviously paganism is a tradition, a worship, or maybe a religion which is outdated, it is no longer existent. Still, I want to give up Christianity and adopt paganism. Why? Because I worship nature. So might I, and suppose if I have adopted paganism, if I have faith in paganism, if I have belief in paganism, then what would I do? Standing on this pleasant lea, have glimpses that would make me less forlorn. I would rather spend my time on this pleasant means beautiful, lea means grassland, moorland. So he wants to spend his time standing on the huge, far stretching, never ending grassland and appreciate the beauty of nature. लंबा घास का मैदान. He wants to spend his time sitting on that beautiful grassland and appreciate the beauty of nature. Or he says, have glimpses. If I stand on that grassland, if I stand on that moorland, I will have glimpses means scenes, jhalkiyan. I will have glimpses of the beautiful nature which is spread everywhere throughout the grassland, and it would make me less forlorn. Forlorn means less sorrowful. If I spend my time appreciating the beauty of nature, if I spend my time absorbing the beauty of nature, it would make me less sorrowful. I will become more happy. Or he says, have sight of Proteus rising from the sea. Proteus is the name of sea god. Okay? It is the name of sea god. Okay? And he says, I want to stand on the shore of the sea and look at the sea and imagine as if Proteus is coming out of the sea. Okay, Proteus comes out, he is in the shape of a seahorse. So he is imagining actually. He says, I want to stand on the shore of the sea, look at the different shades of the sea. Sometimes the sea is calm, sometimes the sea is turbulent, sometimes there are high tides, sometimes there are low tides, sometimes the sea comes gushing to the shore, sometimes the sea comes very softly to the shore. So, he says, I want to appreciate this beauty of the sea. And imagine as if Proteus is coming out of the sea, or he says, hear old Triton blow his wreathed horn. Now, Triton is a sea deity, D-E-I-T-Y. Deity means Devta. He is a sea deity and he is in the shape of a, on the upper part it is the shape of a human and the lower part is in the shape of a fish. And when he blow his wreathed horn, wreathed means covered with flowers in a circular type. Wreath means garland. Wreath means anything which is like the flowers arrangement is in a circular shape. Horn means the conch shell. C-O-N-C-H, conch shell means shankh. So he says, I want to stand on the seashore and listen to the Triton, that is the sea deity, the sea god, who is blowing his conch shell, and all the sea animals come rushing to him when they hear the sound of the shell. I want to spend my time like this, and then only I will become less sorrowful. Understood?